Time to get paid, blow up like I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. It's all good. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. It's all good. Get paid, get paid. Blow up like I'm blowing up like you thought I would.
Welcome in, everybody, to the In Off the Bench podcast. It is 2026. It is the first episode of the season. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Daniel Ball, and the Ava Garza. Daniel, how are we doing?
Blessed as always. It's a new year. Have you guys, at what point, I wanted to ask you this because I've struggled with this all day. At what point do you stop making the mistake of putting 2025 when you're writing dates?
I was in such preparation. I accidentally put 26 on a deposit on New Year's Eve, so I was ahead of the game.
You ready? I mean, I've botched the year 7 times. I counted. I was just over it 7 times today. Ava,
I mean,
I don't know.
It happens. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I write dates, I'm like, I mean, it's fall. I was like, okay, 2025, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I did write 2025 literally yesterday. It was humbling, but it's okay. New year, same us. So I'm excited.
Stone isn't gonna forget that it's 2026 because we talk about it, Daniel. When the calendar rolls over, it's officially baseball season. So he knows when it is. And with that being said, man, Stone Lawless, how you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. Happy to be here. We're in regards to your question, I'm pretty bad with it. I thought we were in 2026 last year, to be honest, which is a problem. I'm a serious problem when it comes to like what year we're in, and then also directions. That has nothing to do with it, but directions I'm terrible with.
Hey, as long as you know the way to first base, you'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. I think what it is, Stone, for you is you entered the year in 2025, and then it ends the year really like for baseball. Starts and ends in 2026, but it seems like this blur. So I can see how you get it all mixed up.
Yeah,
it can
that's
be
the best way to put it.
It can be a
challenge. Daniel, before we get this thing started, new year, but the same best sponsors in the game. Who we got?
Jesus One, empowering men, women, children, and embody the message of John 16:33. Jim, I'll throw it to you, man. A lot of big things going on in Jesus One. Anything big? Anything coming up? How do we get gear? How do we get merch? How do we
right now they're at the ABCA, so the American Baseball Coaches Association, pushing that. So big times. A lot of the schools will then probably reach out if they want to jump on board. As you know, we've gotten probably 40 college teams, including Tennessee, outfitted. So man, it's big as the season comes on deck for sure.
No doubt. And Chinook Seeds, you just mentioned it. With the turn of the new year, it's not just baseball season. It's sunflower seed season. 8 flavors, mild to wild. Go to your local gas station, convenience store, grocery store. Pick up the blue bag, the best sunflower seeds in the game. Chinook Seeds. And finally, Old Dominick Distillery, bourbon, vodka, whiskey, gin. They got you covered. Whatever your need is, I'm telling you, go to olddominickdistillery.com and pick out something. You won't be disappointed with anything. I brought 2 bottles to a party on New Year's. Didn't drink a drop of it, but they were gone within like an hour. 2 bottles gone, house, just like that, because everyone.
I mean, that was the thing, Daniel. I had the 2 cases drop at my house, and somebody was like, "You drink like that?" And I was like, "I don't drink any of it." I was like, "That's for the tailgates." I mean, I could tell you, since we're doing a Tennessee episode, I took it, 2 years ago in 2024 to the postseason. Man, the Tennessee dads absolutely loved it.
No doubt. I mean, the best. Ava, the best.
Ava, go ahead and get this thing started.
Okay, I don't think DB didn't get to hear the conversation, but I have it pulled up right now. Jim texted me. He was like, "We have Stone Monday from Tennessee. He's supposed to be an awesome guy. He's the catcher." And I said, "That's his legit name. You can't be bad at baseball if you got a name like that." So you hear that a lot. Like, do you hear that you have a great baseball name?
Yeah. It was kind of funny. My dad always jokes. He says he's happy that I became somewhat of a relevant athlete. It would have been awkward if I was doing robotics or something with the name Stone. So, people say a lot of times, "Hey, it's a good baseball name or whatnot." I was like, "Hey, I'm glad I wasn't named, something rather generic." So I like it, but
I like the full name. I mean, I like the Lawless. I mean, it flows.
There's only like 3 professions, 2 of which I can talk about on the air. One probably not, where that name fits 100%.
Sure,
100%.
absolutely.
So with a name like that, I mean, we need to know your story. But before we get into that, we have to know the most important question: what your walk-up song is going to be this season.
I have not fully decided yet. In the past, high school and in college, I've always done like an old school rap, kind of from my pops. Something we kind of always bonded with. So I may go with Tupac again or something, some old school Snoop. I haven't decided quite yet. I'm going between the 2 artists, but it'll be one of those 2 guys for sure.
Daniel, keep it in old school.
I like it. I thought it was going to come out with something that I've never heard of, and once again, to start 2026, I was going to feel old.
No, I've always found Tennessee's lineup fascinating because you can go from country to rap. It just bounces back and forth. So whatever you're into, they're going to have it. And then of course 2024 season, you had Billy Amick right in the middle with the 80s rock. So it all hits.
No, yeah, he was sandwiched with some country and some rap, and then we got pictures with some grunge rock. So we got all the things going.
I think my favorites was still Cal Stark, though. It just fit with the Texas theme.
Yep. He was excited about it.
It's coming to be like wrestlers, like coming to the ring. Like you want to get the crowd amped. So you're gonna find one. Maybe you're the sing along guy. Maybe you want the crowd to sing along. Maybe you just want people to like stomp their feet, or maybe you just want to bring the house down. But either way, like the walk up song has morphed into this like larger than life thing. Like,
but I've never seen the carryover across sports like I have Billy's. I mean, football, basketball, soccer, all Tennessee sports. Like they were doing, the whole crowd was doing it. It carried over to the other sports.
Yeah, I remember we went on the field against Alabama last year for the football game, and the whole stadium was doing it, which is pretty dope, especially for him. First year guy coming from Clemson. It was cool to watch, and so like I didn't even know that was. I guess that was already a thing. I guess there has been at some schools, but the fact that it kind of took on a new life here was pretty sweet.
Now you got to up in that this year. You got to find something that it's better than Billy.
I mean,
yeah, it's gonna be hard to top.
Your name tops it all. So like we're confident in whatever song you pick. But Stone, let's jump into it. Let's talk about you, man. Where are you from? Where's home?
I was born in Franklin, Tennessee, but I've been in Huntsville, Alabama for like 13 years. I'm still going there. My parents, I think, want to set up shop there for a good while, so that's where I'm from.
How long were you in Franklin?
I was there. I was born there and I lived there until I was about 7, and then I lived in Knoxville for like 8 months, and I've been in Huntsville since.
Gotcha. So if you were going to pick a place that you're like, man, you have to go visit there, DB, Ava, Jim, you have to go visit here and do this. Where is that one? It could be in Franklin. It could be in Huntsville. But where would you send us, and what would we do?
Jesus, yes, that's a tough one. I'm kind of bored. I'm an old school dude. I'd just be watching football and golfing. So I don't know. Shoot, that's tough. I don't know. I know I want
to not saying the Space Center is just he missed the mark.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just to me, I'm not too well into the engineering and aerospace stuff. So it's kind of you can see you can drive by the interstate and you'll see the rocket. So that's about all you need to see for my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's shoot.
And Daniel, obviously the Trash Pandas are there. I went and watched a few times. Can't go wrong either.
Yeah, that's true. You got to see him over there. He was over there. He brought a lot of attention.
Daniel, Simo did a camp while I was out of town this weekend in my backyard, literally in Hernando, Mississippi. I don't know why I said Tennessee.
Wow.
I mean, of all places for him to show up, him and Kyle Booker.
I mean, I got to have a talk with him. Out of all the places you could go, that's where he's going.
Obviously, Kyle Booker made his pitch because Kyle's from here and Simo ain't from nowhere near here.
This dude's going to be on some big league roster, and he's coming to Hernando. We got to have some chats. Oh, Stone, you got 3 siblings, man. Where do they fall as far as the pecking order of most athletic?
So my youngest brother, he's 12. I think he's the most athletic. He doesn't have the work ethic of me and my other brother, but he's definitely gifted, definitely quicker than me. He quit baseball, but he loves football and basketball. So he's number 1. Then my brother, he's a junior in high school, he'll probably fall right below that.
The sister's not athletic.
No, she's more artist. She can draw stuff that I never could have imagined. More creative. Yeah, no, she got blessed in other categories that I did not,
I
especially
mean,
creativity.
I understand that very well. My
That's
son,
his way of saying she's smarter.
Yeah, 100%.
my son, I wanted him to play sports. He played baseball for a few years. My wife is an artist. He followed suit. He is an artist. So I did not get the athlete I was hoping for. But like to your point, I mean, he's creative in ways I couldn't ever imagine. So it'll be all right. Hey, we go to games. You know, we've been to plenty of Tennessee games where he's drawn the players. So it's just something different.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So, you know, if you read your profile on the Tennessee SID page, you know, it says you chose Tennessee over Auburn and Duke. So was it one of the things that they're putting that there, or were you really considering all three options?
A little bit of both. I definitely was considering Auburn at the time, just local, kind of the way it fell. Liked it a lot, thought about going there, but, I fell in love with Coach Elander. Interesting now that he's the new boss. So it's been a cooler journey for sure. But no, Duke. I mean, I'm not entirely sure Duke got on there. That was a quick kind of deal, nothing super serious. But it was definitely just between the Vols and Auburn. But again,
Hey, we've had two Duke baseball players, and they have told us, and they both transferred out, mind you, that they had to do way more academics than playing baseball. And that, I don't know, Daniel, that's not for me, man. I'm not the academic type. I'm out of there. So good choice, Stone. I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a different level. I don't know if shoot, I can do it, but at what cost,
So it's easy to say, Tony Vitello, the culture, all these things, but man, what about Tennessee made it the landing spot for you?
Obviously, for me, I always had an overwhelming feeling that he was the guy. I felt that he would develop me the best of his capabilities, and he always promised he would, and he has up to this point, and he'll continue to do so. But also, I just always trust prayer. Felt right. Sounds cliche, but it is what it is, right? That's kind of what I roll off of. It was those two things. Felt right, through prayer and all that, but also I fell in love with Elander, and I also felt like, obviously, as a recruiter, you're selling a bit, but at the same time, there's got to be a relationship, and I've known that guy for almost 7-8 years now, and nothing's changed since I've gotten here to when I was calling the phone with him, as a junior in high school or whatnot. So definitely him. I just felt like, he's the guy you want to play for. And it's been kind of cool to see him blossom into this new role he's got now as our head honcho, and he's bought into me and helped me, at least stay on the team my first year, and now having a good chance to play a lot. So it's been a cool journey for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously didn't sell you false goods, because you get there as a freshman, and even though you're redshirting, it is a national championship team that you are a part of. So how validating is it, man, when you choose a school and that it's a winning culture, it's a winning tradition, and that you're going to be able to grow and get better, like you said, but they validate that winning a national championship your freshman year.
Yeah, super validating, man. It was interesting. Like when I committed at the time, I think I was a freshman in high school. It was crazy how it was back then, but that was V and E's like second or third year. So like there wasn't a ton of stuff on paper right at the time that you see now. Again, I just kind of bought into them, and it was really cool to see that, really flourish, especially my first year showing up. The guys were here with Simo, Bert, like great people, but also just unreal athletes, unreal players, being able to sit there and watch. It was invaluable. I don't know if I would have learned anything that I know now without just being able to sit back and watch and train and, be at peace and be pleased with that decision, to trust those guys.
Yeah, no, we get it from guys all the time that talk about the value of when everything just kind of slows down. You get to take everything in across the board. For you, though, if you could pick one thing that you feel like you learned the most through that season, what would it be?
I think kind of just understanding how the league is, seeing that you see a lot of times on TV, guys just have great years, and you think, hey, I'm a freshman, I work hard, I'm going to show up and kind of be that dude. I'm going to be a Simo first year, or I'm going to be a Billy or a Bert. When in reality, like it ain't like that. It's a lot like life. Like there's a lot of great players that I've seen come through here in other schools who had never played just because, the league's a war. I mean, just being able to watch the game from the sideline without having really any, I guess you could say, stake in it because I'm not playing, but being able to watch the game, the speed of the game, without, being thrown into it, right off the bat was super valuable to me, just because, especially as a catcher, it's not something that you can just acclimate to automatically. You got to kind of watch these guys go through the struggle. Like I was able to, have an inexpensive experience by just watching them and not playing. So watching those guys kind of fail.
Unless you're Evan Russell, Daniel, when we had him on there,
Yeah.
he had no choice in the matter.
Absolutely. Yeah, so just kind of watching guys fail for me
but we got to
was
get
super beneficial.
Your time. Tennessee's star left fielder, they were coming into that season and didn't really have a catcher, and he got made catcher. Now the problem with this, Ava, is they had the sickest pitching staff you could have. Guys all throwing 100, and they're like, "Here, you haven't caught before. Catch these guys." He literally came on the show and said he had trouble sleeping at night, specifically when he had to catch Chase Burns the next day. So it's not easy being back there, Ava.
I'm not athletic, but that's genuinely terrifying. Like, seriously. So last year you played in 28 games, sharing time with Cannon. And so what were you able to learn from a veteran like him?
Yeah, Peebs, his work ethic was second to none. So kind of just being around someone who was that intense. I also was able to work with him and Cal, and a kid named Charlie Taylor. He didn't have a lot of quote unquote playing time, but he was just an OG. Taught me the ropes of how to be, not only kind of like how to play at Tennessee under the boss, but kind of like, hey, how to be a dude, how to be a leader in the locker room, stuff like that. So like him, Cal, and Peebs, they were super beneficial. Peebs last year, he was always so great of a teammate with me. Like he always, like I remember opening day, he got sick, so he couldn't, not sick, but he was banged up, so he couldn't play. But I remember he hugged me in the tunnel, like, super, super happy that I was getting the opportunity to start, the year off. Then same at the end of the year when he got ejected, I was able to fill in for him in the super regional. He not only like was worried about himself, like, just as a competitor, making sure he was taking care of his business, but also, loving up on me, teaching me the ropes, helping me become, a better defensive guy, even though we're a competition, quote unquote. It was never, we showed up to the park. It was never like, hey, I don't like you today because same position. We were always building each other up, first guys in the dugout, stuff like that. So I'm always, I'm forever indebted for him for that. Just a cool dude to be around, super good dude. Work ethic again was unmatched. So kind of watching how that, panned out was pretty cool too.
And Ava, that's not always the norm. The culture that they got, because before what he was talking about when we had Peebs and Cal on, they talked about how they pushed and motivated each other. It wasn't a competition. And you hear Stone say that. Daniel will tell you a lot of times these guys are out for themselves. They're not out to motivate and push the other. So what they got in that Tennessee locker room is different.
I mean, I feel like Tennessee is one of the biggest competitors for LSU, and being an LSU girl, that's genuinely terrifying to hear.
We got to go there this year. It's really terrifying.
I don't even know if I could like comfortably walk into that stadium and like have faith. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about all of that. But you hit 288, 5 home runs, 4 doubles, and a triple with 20 RBIs. How did you feel about your production last year?
Obviously, I always want more. But I was also first year in the league, first time being through it. Just pleased with that I just kind of proved myself that, hey, I can do it. This year, I'm super excited to kind of be a little more, gung-ho about it. A little more aggression. I'm just super excited to get more reps and continue to build off that. Again, it's also a great baseline. I kind of be like, hey, like you haven't done nearly enough of what you want to do, want to accomplish. So plenty of runway ahead. So kind of just baseline for me. I'm not looking back too much on it. Just excited for this spring, especially with this new group and new crew.
So if you could narrow it down to like one thing specifically that you can fix going into this season, what would it be?
Nothing super crazy. That's one thing we take a lot of pride in here. We don't do a lot of like cookie cutter stuff. It's kind of just, hey, how can we stack, good days on good days instead of having that one day you're 3 for 4 with 2 homers. Then the next day you're 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Like, how can we just stay consistent and being a pro? Day in and day out. The season's long. You're playing, I'm catching 3 days on a weekend. That's a grind, right? Just finding a way to maintain consistency is the big thing for me this year. Just being relentless. I've watched a lot of these guys like Simo, et cetera. Like, they go 2-4 with 2 homers with 2 strikeouts and they're furious. So like that relentlessness that these guys who've had success have. I'm hoping to, take bits and pieces from each guy and, learning from what they did right and wrong and kind of, bring it into the season this year.
Yeah. You talk about 288 being something you're not looking back on, man. If I hit 288 and had 5 bombs, I don't care how many at bats or how many innings I had. I'd sit on
look
that
at his comparison. He keeps throwing one name out there specifically. It's hard when you're looking up to a SEMO, right? I mean, Daniel, your first time in Omaha, the kid hit a cycle.
I know that's why I don't have to go back, because I've seen it all. I've seen everything I've needed to see out of Omaha. No, I kid. speaking of that was a time in Tennessee's life where they win it all. So outside of winning it all, like if you don't do that, you can almost kind of, it's not a disappointing season. It's just you didn't do what you set out to do. And especially at Tennessee over the past years, like you've created this championship mentality where you want to go to Omaha, that's great, but also you're there to win a championship. And when that doesn't happen, it's not disappointing, maybe a little bit, but like it didn't live up to where you wanted it to be. And so looking back on last season, you come up short, obviously. You lose the guy who really has created this culture and what Tennessee baseball is now known as. So when you look at those two things and then you look at the fall, how have guys handled those changes, and what does the fall look like with this new Tennessee baseball persona?
Yeah, so the fall compared to now has been a lot different because we had like a lot of young core come back, like guys like Levi, Manny Marin, Chris Newstrom, Jay Abernathy, etc., including myself, Blake Grimmer, guys like that. Like we all got a sour taste in our mouth because of the way the year ended. It's kind of crazy. I don't even know how many wins we had, but like, it was still a solid year on paper. But I've never seen a group, especially when V was around, that was so like pissed off and determined this fall. Shoot, we went to a super regional and won a lot of games. But I'm talking like you ought to thought we went 15-40, like the way we were kind of just going this fall. And then look, V leaves, that just kind of added some fuel to the fire. We get our guy to replace him, everyone that we wanted, like everyone wanted, Elander to be the new guy. So now we have like, hey, we're playing for this guy now because we love him and all he's done for us. And we also have that fire on our butt from, the way the last year ended. And a lot of us are not happy with, the playing time we got last year. So like all of that kind of bottled up now is I think is going to be a bit of a hurricane for the Vols this year.
I always wonder this is, so Josh now is the head guy. All right. Outside of now, the only time he was considered the head guy is if Tony gets ejected from a game. And even then, like there's a lot of experience in that dugout that, is there a change between what he was last year and who he is this year? Has that title done anything as far as like, not like as a person, like he's just a different guy, but like what he's able to do with players development and spending that one-on-one, that personal time now that he's the head coach, does he still have that?
Yeah, that's something he's been super cognizant of. Is like he even said like right after he got hired, like we're keeping the main thing. I'm not gonna stop throwing BP to y'all, or I'm not gonna stop shooting you straight, or talking you through how you doing mentally. Like that stuff up to this point, especially, has not changed one bit. He's still throwing BP to us at 8:30 in the morning and throwing for 4 hours till we're all done. He's still hopping on the phone like, hey, what do y'all think about these cleats? Like just stuff he used to do as an assistant on the day-to-day side of things. He hasn't changed. Obviously, he's got some more obligations with media, and he's obviously got to cover his back up a bit with some of the things he says. But for the most part, not a single thing has changed, which has been pretty cool to see. And that's kind of what you want from your skipper, right? A lot of transparency, shooting you straight. And at the same time, we know how much he cares and loves for us and what he's done for us, especially from a recruiting standpoint and a development standpoint, that I think like he knows if I continue to do what I do for y'all, then I know y'all kind of reciprocate it. Like obviously he's not asking for it, but just kind of that mutual respect he's got from us, I think, is kind of what he's just going to continue to be cognizant of.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel, think about this. Stone, we knew he was the guy before everybody said all stuff. Two things. One, as an LSU guy, I know that he was in the running in consideration for a coaching position. You don't get in that list unless you can coach. But then also we have, like I said, all the players that have came on here, and his name is thrown out by just about every guy who's ever came on the show and talked about what he's done for them. So we knew coming in, Daniel, like as soon as they start throwing names out, we're like, it's his. It's got to be his. And so then when all the players come through and validate it, we knew he was the guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the scary part, is not having a group of guys that want to win, but having a group of guys that want to win for that guy. Like that's what matters. That's what really elevates teams from being good to being great teams. But as a catcher, Stone, you have obviously a reloaded pitching staff. Tell me about some of the arms that we're going to look forward to seeing this spring.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a different room that I guess the fans are accustomed to seeing. Like we don't have 3 or 4 guys throwing 100, but I think we got a much different staff. We can do like the same amount of damage. We got guys like Evan Blanco, who are like just a kind of like a better, not a better, but like kind of like a Xander Seacrest. Like, hey, he's a lefty who can throw 3 or 4 pitches anywhere he wants, and it just is a problem for hitters. The numbers don't flash out at you, but he's just a problem. And this fall he shoved. Got guys like Brandon Arvinson who are coming back who just have hellacious stuff. I hate facing him. I don't think I ever got hit off him, to be honest. So we're excited to have him going this year. Tegan Coons, we're looking to be a big arm this year. Power heater. Landon Mack transferred from Rutgers. Super excited about him. Got great stuff. There's plenty. The list goes on. There's plenty of guys that I've forgotten to mention that I think can play a pivotal role this year. We're gonna need some young guys to step up, but Elander's done such a great job recruiting that I don't think that's gonna be a problem. So it's a different look.
Daniel's favorite guy moved on. I don't know if he's going to be okay without Nate Snead.
I know Nate's.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? I got to find somebody else.
Yeah, you probably will.
I mean, what I like, Jim, is we've gone from just calling it a fastball to having good velo to calling it a power heater. Like that is the new buzzword of the season. These guys got power heaters. Like, let's go.
There's always something new.
Yeah, definitely. Third weekend of the season, you guys go to Globe Life. Jim will be there. Ava will be there. I'll be at home watching it on the big screen. You guys get to play in a big league park. What does it mean to you to be at Tennessee, but to play in a big league park like that against really good competition that early in the season?
It's super exciting, especially given my first year. I didn't get to play there. I just was there in the bullpen holding it down. I take a bit of pride in having an opportunity to be able to kind of be out there this year. It's something I'm super excited for. Again, kind of checking that box for myself. I'm super excited about, but at the same time, it's just the best thing about those trips is kind of just being with the guys on the plane, kicking it in Texas. It's just great experience. And like, it's crazy to think about those World Series games there, just that's kind of where you want to be, right? You love to play for the Rangers or whoever it is. So just getting the taste is always exciting.
I mean, last year was so much fun. Gavin Keelan's our dude, and him wasting no time putting to rest we play in a small ballpark by absolutely demolishing a ball out of the big league park and obviously y'all kept hitting all weekend. Like that's why I like y'all playing in a big league park, because I get tired of, even as the LSU fan, I get tired of everybody talking about, Tennessee plays in a small ballpark, even though y'all hit them like 100 feet over the fence. But
yeah,
that's never enough for anybody. So just go to a big league ballpark, hit them out. It just backs it up. But man, before we let you get out of here, we're going to play a game that we play every single guest called This or That. You get 2 options. You choose one or the other. Just can't say both. Can't say neither. You down to play?
Let's do it.
All right. Softball question out the gate, man. Tacos or burgers?
Tacos.
All right. Are you a call or text guy?
Call.
Really? Daniel, man, I found one of your dudes. It's 1 out of like 1,000, but there's somebody who calls me.
Yeah, if it's urgent, I gotta give a call. I hate texting.
I hate when Daniel calls me. Just text me. I don't feel like talking.
Bro, I ain't got time to be texting. I just don't.
All right. Are you a beach guy or a lake guy?
Lake.
All right. This one's the toughest one to me. You like the black dark mode uniforms or the smoky grays?
That is tough. I'm going black though.
All right. Who you got, Oregon or Indiana?
Let's go with the Hoosiers.
They're playing good.
So what?
So they're playing good. They're playing.
Ole Miss or Miami?
See, the Miami defense is nice. I'm gonna go Ole Miss though. SEC.
You talk about terrifying, Daniel. Living in Ole Miss country, dude, I cannot have these dudes win a national championship. My favorite thing is to throw in their face they've never won one. These fan base, they beat you in a regular season game. Ava, you remember how bad it was, but I was able to just throw at them the natties, right? If they win a natty, I got nothing to hang on to. I'll never hear the end of it, so I'm scared to death. Come on, Miami, please.
Hey, that defense is nice.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely shocked Ohio State. Daniel, I'm glad I didn't make it to the casino and make my bets, because my money would have been Ohio State, it. So save me some money there.
Of course.
All right. More excited to host LSU or Texas?
See, that's one of those I don't know. I guess I'll take LSU because we played them last year. So
Well, the
we wanna get her
LSU
back,
one
but
is there's obviously kind of a rivalry with them being the top schools lately. But the reason I asked Texas is, Daniel, for as long as we can remember, who the real UT is has always been a thing. We consider it Tennessee, but you know how Texas is going to be, and it's a very large state with a very large fan base, so they like to argue.
100%.
All right, would you rather wrestle a tiger or a bear?
I saw the Revenant, so I'm gonna go with the Tiger.
I brought this question back. I hadn't had it in a while, but I started thinking about Tennessee players. We had Christian Scott, Daniel, if you remember, he said he could outrun a bear, which we explained that he couldn't.
So silly.
We had Blake Burke that said he'd play dead on a bear, and so it just started making me
silly
think about
too.
the bear question. So, but the thing about the tiger, I'd say, is what Daniel always says: they hunt at night, man, and if I keep them coming, that's a problem.
I'm in trouble either way, to be honest. Look, I'm just yipped up from that movie. What they did to my guy DiCaprio is a problem.
All right, that's the one with two bad options. Here's two good options. Would you rather go to a concert or a sporting event? And when I say concert or sporting event, I mean any concert anywhere, any sporting event anywhere.
Let's go sporting event.
You could pick it. Where are you going?
I want to go Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Who's your team? Who's playing?
Detroit. Hopefully Detroit's playing. I don't even care who it is. Just Detroit. You gotta be playing.
There you go. All right, I got one more question to add in here, Daniel, before the last one. I said all the throwbacks and thinking about him being on the 2024 team makes me want to ask, who had better bombs, Billy Burke or Blake Burke or Billy Barrels? I said that wrong.
I'm gonna go with Burke just because I remember he hit one against South Carolina. He was in a slump, and I think we were down one, and he hit one. He went in the locker room, spiked the chairs, last at bat, came out right before his at bat, and I'm talking. He hit one that probably he went to center field, it kept riding. As it was
video,
leaving.
right? It was right when it had started raining, correct? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I was standing behind home plate and actually recorded that. The guy next to me called it. He said, if Burt gets up, he was like, he's going to hit a bomb. And like, dude was screaming on my ear, but it was like, you're right. It just started raining. It was electric. That whole series, like y'all were kind of coming out, like you said, you're coming out of funk. And then like, man, y'all just unloaded on South Carolina.
Yep.
It wasn't pretty what y'all did to them.
No, that was that one. And then he hit one against maybe an LSU or Georgia. He hit one like 115. It didn't even get like halfway up the scoreboard. And
his swing is as pretty as they get, but you couldn't go wrong with anybody on that team. I mean, even Cal Stark, you may have not got them off him, but when he hit them, we're absolute tanks.
100%.
All right, last one. There is no easy answer to this question. As David says, this is my favorite question because you got to think, would you rather do 5 years in prison or 10 years in a coma?
This is the easiest question.
I'm going with a coma.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel. I finally got some more clarity on this, even though it was a TV show. So my daughter had me watching Stranger Things with her. She came out of the 2-year coma, and she was in a wheelchair because she couldn't walk. That's what I try to tell you. If you lay there for 10 years, you're not going to be worth nothing.
I'll figure it out. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think we'll figure it out.
I mean,
ironically, most of your baseball friends, not just Tennessee, everywhere, they seem to always think they can handle prison pretty well. They don't watch enough movies, clearly, because I know.
Yeah, I'm not interested in finding out. I don't know if y'all watch Mary Kingstown, but if you do, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, and clearly these fur coats and these hats in the dugouts got these guys brainwashed, thinking they could spend 5 days, much less 5 years in jail. So
yeah, no, I'm not gonna act like I'm someone I'm not. No chance.
I think the only person we've allowed to say neither to that question was Tony V. Tony V was like neither, and I'm not even thinking about it. I was like, all right, coach, let that ride.
Yeah, you're right.
We know the true answer.
He's good.
We know the true answer.
All right, Ava, go ahead.
Well, before we close this out, is there anything that you want to plug or promote?
No, just watch out for some of these youngins this year, especially guys like Levi. There's a freshman named Trent Grindlinger. I think he's going to be a problem. But no, just look out for some of these young guys, returning guys. Pretty excited for everyone and super excited to see what they all do.
No doubt. It's going to be here very quickly, a matter of weeks, and you guys will be on the diamond, busting it open. It's going to be awesome to watch you guys get after it. Stone, man, we really appreciate the time, dude. If there's anything we can do for you along the way, reach out, man.
Yeah, no, appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. That's Stone Lawless, everybody. If you like hearing Stone's story, or you just like hearing average Joes or Jills talk X's and O's, please share the podcast on Facebook. Head over to YouTube. like, subscribe, notifications. That way you're first to know when new content is being dropped. New content will be dropped every day this week, especially tomorrow night. Black and Gold, Zach York, LSU baseball. Ava, are you pumped for that? What?
You know, I'm always ready to talk LSU baseball, especially because we're getting this close to season. I'm super excited, especially to have Zach York on. So it's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. So y'all don't miss it. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time.